The pauldrons are up next. As I had already made the base, I was looking at the shoulders, trying to find a way I was happy of getting the panelled look on the top. I could have combined 3 parts and bordered them with thin foam, but without warbler or something that could stretch, I feared that this would turn out messy. After some time, I decided cutting the foam, rising it, and gluing it into place would work. I made 2 panels this way. The bottom of the pauldrons had separate pieces underneath, so I cut these out, shaped them, and made sure they'd fit. Once I had all the components to construct the shoulder armour, I rounded the edges to give them a refined look, and glued all the pieces together. To relax the pieces, I heated both pauldrons a little. I took some wood down to the workshop, and marked out the curve of Klein's katana. The butchery that took place in that workshop, it was horrific. I precariously clamped a plank to the workshop. Using the blunt jigsaw, I cut into the wood until I realised that the trigger on the tool wouldn't release. This meant every time I wished to turn it off, I'd have to reach across the workshop and pull the plug out. As you can imagine, from fear of tearing my hand up, I swapped to the handsaw, which is where the real barbarism took place, as I began cutting out chunks messily. I spent the next hour planing and sanding the profile of the soon-to-be sword to an acceptable standard. After what happened, I consider this a success. The next day was glorious. It was a lovely day outside, and my plasti dip had been delivered. I decided to take my painting out into the garage, to stop the house from smelling like a bioweapon test ground. I laid out some cardboard, and then the armour. It became apparent that it was too cold inside the garage, as the plasti dip was applying patchy, so reluctantly, I hauled everything inside. I set cans in front of the heater to warm them up, and began painting in the hobo fort I had built in the bathroom. The dip applied evenly when warm. After 3 coats of plasti dip, I followed up with 2 layers of black paint. Turning my armour into the beloved black and blue colour scheme, I masked what I needed to keep its colour. Returning to the hobo fort, I painted everything red and carefully removed the tape to almost finish my matching set. I have 2 projects battling for my economy's attention right now, my PC build and my cosplay. As my cosplay has a time limit on it, I've been throwing all I can its way to get things rolling. I feel like I've made some good progress in the last few weeks, so I've decided to turn my attention briefly back to my PC build. This isn't to say that I'll stop my cosplay for long, but it has a time limit, as I said, and shit needs to get done.
You don't give a fuck, do you?
Making pancakes, making